Well there. Hello there. You look fancy and sexy in your pajamas. I think that we should read you a little story called Trixie's Funhouse. I'm My Little Sonic. I shall be playing the role as Sweetiebell and the narrator. We have LopeZ, who will be reading the role of Trixie. Say hello, LopeZ.
Hello.
We have Sigi, the foreigner, who shall be reading the role of Scootaloo.
Hola.
We have the mighty Raiouku taking the place of Chomp, our lovely Applebloom / Rarity combo. I don't know how that works. And I, My Little Sonic, shall be reading the role of the almighty, powerful, genius Sweetiebell. We will be reading the mighty fanfic, Trixie's Funhouse. Let us commence this disaster.
Gosh darn it!
The young filly exclaimed as she and her two friends trotted down the road. I really thought that would work, her unicorn friend replied.
We are in trouble now,
Said the Pegasus filly.
This wasn't going to work. You really screwed this up, Applebloom.
Hey, don't blame me. Sweetiebell came up with that idea.
I didn't come up with the idea. My sister told me,
Well, your sister's crazy to think that this was going to get our cutie marks.
replied Scootaloo.
This was so stupid and embarrassing.
Applebloom sighed.
I guess we're not gonna be cutie mark crusader prostitutes.
Sweetiebell, why did your sister tell us that we should solicit sex from the townsfolk?
Scootaloo asked. Well, Rarity said it was a very profitable business, and we were so useless at doing anything else that we might as well ask for sex from random strangers.
Well, your sister's an asshole.
The three friends continued down the road and came across a familiar face.
I see you girls have a problem.
Trixie!
The three girls said.
Yes, it is I, the gay and pitiful Trixie, and I am here to help you.
Why should we trust you?
Applebloom said.
Yeah, weren't you the hacked off that lie about your accomplishment?
Scootaloo added. My sister has pictures of you in her private room. Applebloom and Scootaloo both shot a death stare at Sweetiebell.
What the fuck?
Scootaloo mouthed.
Okay, I know I've had a bad past in Ponyville, but I, the gay and pitiful Trixie, is here to make up for it. I wanted to start by helping you three fillies out. I want to help you get your cutie marks.
And you'll do that how?
Scootaloo asked.
Well, first you have to follow me back to my house, located in a dark, secluded area, totally away from any living soul. Once we get there, we'll work on your cutie marks.
That sounds perfectly reasonable.
Scootaloo said.
You're into this, Applebloom?
I don't know. Sis will be awfully sore if I don't return home on time. But you know what? Screw her. I'm in. What say you, Sweetiebell?
Dumb fabric. Scootaloo face-hooved.
Yeah, we in.
Great! Now follow Trixie to a wonderful magical dome.
The Crusaders followed Trixie to her totally not suspicious, not dangerous house located in the outskirts of Ponyville.
We're here.
The Crusaders gazed upon Trixie's home. It was pretty big for a home as the size of it was compared to a warehouse. On the front of the house, above the door, was a sign that had spray painted on it, Trixie's Funhouse.
This is it?
Scootaloo said, unimpressed.
Yes, now follow Trixie inside.
Trixie opened the door, and the Crusaders followed Trixie inside. Trixie locked the door behind them. Inside the funhouse, it was pitch dark.
I can't see a darn thing.
It smells kinda funny in here.
I like to eat paste.
Oops, I forgot to turn on the lights.
Trixie flicked the light switch on.
Okay, now who wants their cutie mark first?
I do.
Applebloom yelled.
No me!
Scootaloo yelled. Sweetiebell was slamming her head against the wall.
Okay, you can all go at once. Follow me to my special cutie mark acquirement room.
Trixie ushered the three fillies into a small room.
So now what do we do?
Take these. Put them on.
Trixie gave the fillies each a latex suit.
Okay.
Scootaloo said and put the suit on.
It's really tight.
Applebloom said.
Why are the holes for our flanks and unmanageable parts?
Oh, you'll see soon enough. Now I want each of you to stand by that wall over there with the chains.
The fillies quickly trotted over to the wall.
Now raise your hooves up.
The fillies raised their hooves up.
And perfect.
Trixie raised the chains up and wrapped them around the Crusaders.
Now Trixie is gonna have some fun with you little fuckers.
Trixie took out a whip and lashed each Crusader across the face.
Oh, what the fuck was that for?
Scootaloo cried. Trixie lashed them again. Applebloom started to cry.
You hurt me. I'm gonna tell my big sis on you.
Me and Rarity play this game all the time. Trixie lashed them again, ignoring their cries for help.
Okay, now that we're all warmed up, it's time to get fucking dirty.
Trixie went over to the wall and unchained Applebloom and put her hoofs in handcuffs. She threw her on a nearby table and laid her out.
Time for Trixie to have some fun.
Trixie started to insert her tongue into Applebloom's mouth. It squished around in her mouth. Trixie enjoyed every second of it. Applebloom continued to cry as Trixie inserted her hoof into Applebloom's clit. She felt around in her tender young vagina, penetrating her vaginal wall. Scootaloo and Sweetiebell continued to watch as Trixie and Applebloom's sweaty bodies touched and rubbed against each other.
I wanna go home.
Applebloom cried.
We haven't even started yet, dear.
Trixie continued to figure Applebloom.
I haven't even used any of my fun toys yet.
Trixie reached under the table and pulled out a 13-inch long dildo.
This should do the trick.
She flipped Applebloom over and inserted the dildo deeply into her anus. Applebloom cringed and shook as the dildo penetrated her anus. The dildo was so far in, her anus started to bleed. Trixie licked up the blood and enjoyed the taste of it. She started to suck the blood straight out of Applebloom's ass.
This tastes so good.
Trixie started to orgasm. She then flipped Applebloom back over and gave Applebloom oral sex. Trixie got into the 69 position and put her clit into Applebloom's face. Suddenly, she ejaculated hard. The milky fluids got all over Applebloom's face, and some got in her mouth. Once Trixie started finishing ejaculating, she reached under the table and pulled out a chainsaw. Applebloom's heart started pounding rapidly as she screamed for help. At this point, Scootaloo was crying, and Sweetiebell was slamming her head against the wall.
Applebloom, no!
Scootaloo cried.
You're my only useful friend.
Trixie revved up the chainsaw and slowly lowered it into Applebloom's leg. The chainsaw tore through her flesh. Blood went everywhere. Applebloom let out one final scream before fainting. Her leg had fallen completely off.
This will do.
Trixie said excitedly. She took the young filly's leg and inserted it into her vagina. She jammed it back and forth in her clit and soon had another orgasm. Trixie revved up her chainsaw again and tore through Applebloom's neck, effectively decapitating her. She picked up her bloody head from the ground and put it onto the table. Scootaloo puked from this horrible sight.
Okay, who's next?
Trixie said in excitement.
No, fuck no.
Scootaloo screamed and cried.
Andy Pony, some pony, save us.
When I grow up, I want to be just like my sister Rarity.
Sweetiebell, she's just fucking raped and decapitated our best friend and now she's going to kill us.
Trixie unchained Scootaloo and put her on the table and held her down. Break a leg!
Sweetiebell, you're the biggest fucktard imaginable.
Scootaloo was cut off by Trixie's hoofs pounding her in the face. Trixie knocked most of the teeth from Scootaloo's mouth. She continued to brutally pound her in the face. Trixie then levitated Scootaloo's body a couple feet from the table. She picked up a knife and positioned it under Scootaloo's tender ass. She then dropped Scootaloo. The knife penetrated Scootaloo's anus. Blood and excrement began to flow out of her ass. Trixie then levitated her body above the table and repeated dropping Scootaloo on the knife multiple times. Scootaloo cried and screamed for help. Trixie picked up some of the excrement from Scootaloo's anus and shoved it into Scootaloo's mouth. Trixie began to make out with Scootaloo, licking the inside of her shit-filled mouth. Scootaloo couldn't take the taste of excrement and puked into Trixie's mouth. Trixie joyfully swallowed the puke and excrement and then puked herself. Then puke got all over Scootaloo's face. Satisfied, she revved up the chainsaw and placed the blade right above her head. She pushed the chainsaw through Scootaloo's skull and forcefully tore it through her whole body, all the way to her flank. Trixie had thoroughly cut Scootaloo in half. She turned off the chainsaw and got up on the table. She took one bloody half of Scootaloo and rubbed it against herself. Enjoying the innards of Scootaloo rubbing against her body, she placed her body in her urinary tract and enjoyed the feces that rolled out. Trixie had another orgasm. She wiped Scootaloo's remains from the table and set her sights on Sweetiebell. Yay! My turn to get my cutie mark. Trixie face-huffed.
Fucking idiot.
Trixie unchained Sweetiebell and put her on the table. She revved up the chainsaw and began to work on Sweetiebell's horn. The chainsaw tore completely through the horn. Trixie took the horn and inserted it into Sweetiebell's vagina. Sweetiebell laughed and got excited as she did this. Despite the blood pouring out from her vagina, Sweetiebell had an orgasm. More, she cried. So that's what Trixie did. She flipped Sweetiebell over and stuck the horn into her anus. She jammed it multiple times, and to the delight of Sweetiebell. Did my cutie mark show up yet? What is it? Sweetiebell started to annoy Trixie.
For fuck's sakes, can you please shut the fuck up?
Trixie took the horn and shoved it down Sweetiebell's throat. Sweetiebell was choking on her own horn. Trixie continued to push the thorn through, and it went through the back of Sweetiebell's neck. Blood seeped out her neck, and she took her final breath and died.
Fucking stupid children can't shut the fuck up.
Trixie angrily said. Trixie went over to the sink and cleaned herself up. Hours later, her phone rang. Trixie picked up the phone.
So, did you get the job done?
Yes, Trixie took care of her and her two dumbass friends.
Oh, thanks Celestia. I can finally work in peace without that little shit messing things up.
Great. So you send me my payment?
I'll come by later. Sounds good?
Yes, bring the bits. All the bits.
Trixie hung up the phone and relaxed after a long, fun day of sex, rape, and torture. And that, my friends, was the amazing story of Trixie's Funhouse. You know, our amazing readers here, we had many trouble. But you know what? I think this story deserves a big urgy. Yes.
And subscribe.
Yes, you should all
Yay.
like, favorite, subscribe, urgy. All of us. Please.
Yay,
We're
everyone
desperate.
scream. Ah!